it up, made a meal in a minute. Gang banging, I killed the lieutenant. Dope boy, and I'm still winning. Still rolling on Nolansville. Shoot out the window, yo, hold the wheel, then keep riding. We know the drill. From Nashville, still a river rat. Keep a semi with me, I'm a bust that.
So, we have Tom MacDonald here. What up, man?
What up, bro?
Once on camera, thank you for inviting me over and you know, chilling with me. It's been a pleasure. Now, this is just kind of like an interview of Tom MacDonald, because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of weird things to say about him, and this is going to be the kind of his side. So this is going to be a series of questions that I ask him. First question is, so you're originally from Canada, correct?
Yeah.
So tell the people how you started here in LA. How did you get here in Hollywood?
Yeah, so like we talked about it earlier, like essentially I was in Canada for a long time. Music scene out there is like super small. So I started off in this place called Edmonton, Alberta, which is sort of like in the prairies in Canada. And I just felt like I just wanted to be someplace bigger, and I had just like bigger goals and I felt like I could achieve in like that town and stuff. So
yeah.
I went from Edmonton to Vancouver, and again, like I just had aspirations for more. And it's not like that I outgrew the scene from a popularity standpoint or anything like that, but just like mentally,
yeah,
I was like outgrowing. Even though I hadn't reached my full potential in that place,
yeah,
I was like already like 10 years ahead of my own ability.
I totally understand.
Head.
Yeah,
you know, it's like putting like a plant in like a terrarium or something. It'll only grow like as big as that terrarium,
yes,
and then you move it out and it expands further. So like my whole thing was just like, even though I wasn't there yet with my popularity and my skill set and stuff like that, I just knew that like in order to realize my potential and in order to like sort of cultivate my skills and hone in my abilities, I had to like go to a place that wasn't a terrarium, that just allowed me to expand further.
Yeah.
So I went on a tour through Europe like a few times, which was like super cool. Always like thought I might find someplace out there that felt like home, whether it was London or Paris or Amsterdam or whatever, and I found some like really cool places out there that I loved, but I just didn't catch the vibe, man. And then I came out to LA. I was here for 6 months. I just fell in love with it.
LA lifestyle, man.
That's it. Went back to Canada for a bit, and I was back and forth for like a few years until I just decided like, yo, okay, like I'm gonna go California full time. So
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into your music here. So your music, in my personal opinion, is one of the best music that I heard recently come out of this new generation of rappers.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
That,
yeah, that means honestly, and I don't say that about a lot of people, and I mean that 100%. When it started taking off, was it White Boy that like started like to actually like where it started catching fire and people was like, oh man, this Tom MacDonald dude, you know, is that where it started? Was it White Boy itself?
A lot of people think that, but like it was actually like maybe like 2 videos before that. It was Dear Rappers was like the first one.
I seen that one on Facebook.
Yeah. And then it was Hell of It, and then it was White Boy.
Okay.
So White Boy like was the first one that caused like a largely like negative reaction. It was like the first. Like, I'd already broken like 1 million views on like a few different videos. Like,
so you had like a fan base at that point, but
right.
White Boy kind of like brought in the new people to be like, okay, this is this dude.
Yeah, it was like Dear Rappers and Hell of It. That was like 1-2 million views, and then White Boy hit Facebook and like it traveled certain channels, and that turned into like it's now at like 35 million.
Yeah, it's doing numbers.
Yeah, so it's like it was a big difference. So yeah, a lot of people did find me from White Boy, but like everything really changed at Dear Rappers and Hell of It.
Okay, so that's dope, man. White Boy hits the scene, man, and you start getting weird people. Like people start taking your words and flipping them and you know taking them out of what they originally were. How does that feel? Like you're sitting there, you're this rapper that's coming up, you're finally getting your name out there, and it's kind of negative. How does that, like, what do you do at that point? Like, what did you do? Like, how did you handle it? Because I would have freaked out, dude. I would have just started snapping at people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, I ended up doing that with, like, records like This House and shit like that. But
yeah. That was like a classy, like, slap, though.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, I'll talk about, like, I'm out here on, like, Twitter, like, cussing people out.
Yeah, I feel you. Honestly, like, it's very hard to imagine, like, what being in that position is like unless you were actually in that position. And like I didn't have the option to just like come out swinging on Twitter because it was such a massive influx of people coming at me that like you'll spend hours. You would spend like 16-hour days for 3 weeks in order to like respond to all that stuff. And like there was like some bigger people, like way bigger people than me that were tweeting at me and stuff. So
really, wow, that is crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. So it was just like it was the first time in my life anything like that had ever happened. Yeah, it was like super frustrating that like because I know what my intentions were, bro. Like I know who I am. I know what I wrote. I know why I wrote it.
Yes.
And I know what I meant by the things that I said. And like, you know, there was like a lot of people that flat out were like, oh, this guy's a racist, this guy's like whatever, like he's ignorant, he's like insensitive, like whatever. Okay, like racist, no. Yeah. Like ignorant, who isn't at some point in their life, insensitive, sure. Like I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
Yeah.
You know
no, I told you I'm the same way. I'm very blunt. I'm gonna tell you how it is, and I feel like you're very like that in your music, but you can also switch it up in a way where it's like you can be this person where it's like super sensitive and you can say what you need to say in a different type of tone. It's just that people nowadays just take everything so wrong, man, and it's crazy, because which is why I wanted to sit down with you and really conversate with you, because now it's to the point where you say anything, people are like, man, fuck this guy. Like you can be like, dude, I love WWE, no, fuck you, I love AEW.
Which is it's fine, man. It's like it's a lot of fun, to be honest. And like I don't know, a lot of people have like the white boy record twisted. They're like oh, this guy like wrote a song on behalf of like white people who feel like they're oppressed or something, and like it's like not that to me. Like if that's the way that you're like taking it, then like I think that says more about like the way that you feel about shit than I do, because like I didn't have any like burning desire in me to write a song about like the plight of the white man. Like I don't give a shit. Like I don't care. Like that song's not for white people. That song is for me, and I happen to be like a white person. So like to me it was like when I dropped Dear Rappers and I dropped Hell of It, like a lot of people were like, yo, like this guy's attacking black rappers in his music and da-da-da-da-da, because I was talking shit about mumble rap and mainstream hip-hop and the content of the music and da-da-da-da-da. And like my whole thing was like, yo, like I would never attack a rapper for being of like a particular color. Like what I did do was attack rappers of a particular content, and like just because like a bunch of those rappers are black doesn't mean I'm attacking black rappers. That's an insane conclusion to come to. So it was like, and that's why I wrote White Boy, because after whatever it was, 3 or 4 months and like tens of thousands of pieces of hate mail saying that like you're attacking black rappers and you're this and you're that and da 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 da, I was like you know, like I was like, okay, like if you really think that's the way it is, like, like you know, so
be it.
So after all the like the I never had any inkling like or desire to talk about race, period. But then after everybody started making it about that, yo, you're attacking black rappers, this, that, and the other, I was like, okay, cool. Like if this is what y'all want to talk about for forever, then, like, I can do that too. So check it out.
Yeah. So that happens. So
wait. And the worst part about it was not White Boy happens. The worst part about it was like to your first question, how does that feel when all these people are like hating on you and stuff? Like that wasn't like the worst part. It wasn't the people that opposed the message that were like, yo, F this guy, we don't like this guy. That didn't bug me. Like, go ahead, dude. I've like literally had people not like me my entire life. Like, I don't care. The worst part about it was the fucking like real like white supremacists and the real like Nazi type dudes and shit that exist in America. Like, it was those guys that heard that song and were like, yeah, like this is our rapper, like, and kind of championed White Boy as like their music. And that was the worst part for me. Like, like I wasn't sitting around on Facebook and Twitter blocking the people that were like hating on me. I was blocking like the guys that were championing the song for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
So that was the most fucked up part.
That's crazy. See, I didn't know any of that. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy because, like, for me, the message was just like, you know, this is where my point of view stays. Like, this is how I look at it through my eyes, and this is how I see, you know, what's going on. You know, that's how I took that song. You know, just like I take, you know, a lot of your songs. You know, I take it from your perspective. You know, I try to put myself in your shoes and see where you're coming from, just as you're trying to put yourself in my shoes to see where I'm coming from. And I think people kind of take that and just, I don't know, it might just be people just doing that on purpose, you know, just wanting someone to hate. So that happens, man. So you're getting all these people coming at you or whatever. So you do respond with this house.
Right.
So when you wrote that song, like, why why did you drop it, and like how long did it take for you to sit back and be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna respond?
I don't think it was like, it's weird, dude. Like, I don't think it was super like calculated like that. Like, because at first, when there's that many people speaking that loudly at you about like a song in a video, you like start to like question yourself a little bit. You're like, wait, like, am I like
who they
off
say
base here? Like, are they right? Am I this person that they're like painting me as? Like, even though like your intentions might have been good, like, you know, maybe you are this guy, you know? Like, when there's that many people consistently being that loud at you, it starts to like kind of mess with your head a little bit. So there was probably like a little less than a month where I was like really uneasy about the whole thing, and I like didn't know how I felt about it. I definitely knew I wasn't going to apologize for it.
Say what you mean and mean what you say. I'm the same type of person.
But I'm not like I'm not like the type of person that's like afraid to like admit that I was wrong. But like, being wrong about something is fine, but I'm not going to apologize for the way that I feel, you know what I mean? So I was just like, I'm not going to apologize, but like, how do I deal with this whole thing? So whatever, I'm like digesting it and just dealing with it as it comes or whatever. And then I just like literally like woke up one day and I was like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm not wrong. Like, I don't give a fuck like what the internet says. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I'm gonna think how I think, feel how I feel, and say how I say, whether they like it or not. And it was like on that day when that just clicked in my head. Like, it was weird because I've never had that type of attention before, so it kind of like sent me through the ringer for a minute. But then one day I woke up and I was like, wait, like, I don't give a shit about this. And then like, it was on that day that I wrote This House, because I finally just like found myself in all the craziness, and I was like, yo, guy, like, you're not that dude. Like, let them know who the fuck you are. So that's
where you started kind of stepping into that and be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna, you know, put the pieces into place. But
it's a little bit of a journey to get there, right?
Definitely. So I say you have a niche for controversy. I say you're a controversial rapper because, like I said, you can drop anything and people hate, like, you know, just hate on it. You know, it's either you're gonna love it, you're gonna hate it, but it's polarizing. You're gonna have something to say about it. And I compare you to a younger Eminem, because back in the day, as we all know, Eminem would just go out and just say what he felt. You know, that's what he was. So I compare you to that because you're more like, I'm just gonna say how it is. Like, that's just who I am. So you get a niche for it. You know, now you're this controversial rapper. So now you're making music and it's kind of like, where do I go from here? So in your mind, did you just wake up one day and was like, all right, it's time to piss people off, like, or did you just like just kind of let the music flow, like you just kind of went with yourself, you know, you stepped into the shoes and was like, this is what the people want, I'll give them what they want.
Yeah, or it's not what they want, I'm gonna give them what they not want.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it was never really like a, I didn't expect to get the hate, and I didn't expect it to be so controversial to do the white boy shit. I just thought that was just like a record. I thought, I felt some type of way. I thought it was a good idea. That was a good song, and that was it. So, there's like, I've never set out to write a song and been like, this one's gonna really make people mad, but like I have halfway through a song read it to Nova or read it to one of my homies and they're like, ooh, shit, bro, like, maybe you shouldn't be saying that. And I'd be like, why? Yeah. Am I wrong? Yeah. And they'd be like, well, you know, not that you're wrong, it's that, like, those are uncomfortable things to say in these times and stuff. And then I'm just like, so what? So me and you can talk about it in the living room, but you can't put it on wax. And that's cool, and it's cool for like you and your homies to talk about it on the weekend when you're at the bar together or whatever. But like, when did this music shit change? Like, I've said it like so many times, dude. Like, this whole thing is like, everything is fucking rock and roll to me. And like, rock and roll was always about, less about the music and more about the message and like screaming the truth at the top of your fucking lungs. Agreed. Yes. So like, that's my whole thing, is that like, I'm not here to like make a song that you're gonna listen to in the club with your homies. I'm not here to make a song that you're gonna like just drink to. I'm not here to make a song about Xanax or money or cars or women or whatever the thing is, because like 20,000 of those songs came out this year. Yes. I'm not interested in making songs that have already been made. I don't want to make songs that don't need to exist. So that's like my measuring stick. When I write a song, I'm like, does this song need to exist? Is there a space for this song in the world today? And if the answer is yes, then I continue. And if the answer is this song already exists or it doesn't have some pertinent value to it, then I just don't make it. So like, a lot of my records come from like literally watching the news or like staying up on social media or just seeing like what people are talking about, things that my girlfriend says to me, things that we read in the paper and shit. I'll see a headline or read about something and I'll be like, yo, like, what do you think about this? And then Nova is very liberal. So she'll tell me sort of her point of view and I'm like, okay, like, I get it, but like, what about this though? And I'll like explain my stuff and she's like, ooh, like, I don't know, like, and so it's just like, I don't know, man, like, I was born this way, or if you believe in God, like, God made me this way. I think a certain way, I have certain feelings about certain things, and like, it just so happens that like a lot of people don't agree with that. That's where the controversy comes from, you know? Yes. I don't sit around with a notebook like, what's gonna piss people off today? Against the popular opinion of the day. I just like think what I think, and I'm just like, a lot of my opinions are unpopular, and like, so be it. And I mean, that's great. It's good for my music. Yeah. Like, I don't ever talk about anything that I don't actually think or feel. So if my opinion's unpopular and that's quote unquote controversial, then like, that's just luck of the draw. It's just like who I am and the way it goes. And Wannabe, which is one of my favorite songs. I think actually when I FaceTimed you, I told you I was just listening to it, which is why I FaceTimed you. But so yeah, there's a lyric in there that says, you know, I'm 25 now and I'm confident to say if I don't make it by 30, I'm gonna kill myself. So that lyric really stands out to me in a deeper meaning, because I always wonder what you know, was thinking when you wrote that lyric, because it's a really, one, it's a really touchy subject. Two, it's very like it's very deep.
it's very like cutthroat. It kind of is like, hey, I'm giving myself the option to make it if I know I'm gonna end it, you know?
Yeah.
So what was you thinking in that moment? Like, was you like going through stuff, or was it just a lyric that kind of just fit with the song?
I think it's just like a combination of different things. Like I've always like, I'll purposefully, I'm like so hard on myself. I put so much pressure on myself and stuff like that. And the only reason that like I'm able to like execute the amount of stuff that I do in a small short time frame and deliver something that's as quality as what I deliver is because I usually set like really unrealistic deadlines for myself.
Okay.
So like when I'm like, I shoot a video or I record a song or get this album done, I'm like, yo, this video needs to come out on this day. This album needs to come out on this day. And like sometimes those time frames that I set are like completely unrealistic. But I'm just like so driven by having not enough time and too much work that it just doesn't come hell or high water, like cuffs or coffins, it's fucking happening. Like I'm gonna get it done. So, and I excel like under pressure like that. And I have felt like a few times in my music I've sort of like told my future with my songs and stuff, where I talked about like I'm gonna tour Europe, I'm gonna like move to LA or California, or I'm gonna make this amount of money, I'm gonna do that, like whatever, get my sister this, get my parents that, like, and a lot of times those things like come to fruition, and it's like, I'm not saying that I'm like a psychic or something, but they're like projections that I've made for myself and deadlines that I've made, and I seem to always like rise to the occasion when I set those goals and stuff. So like at that point in time when I wrote that line in Wannabe, so I was 25, so I've been making music for like probably 6.5 years at that point. And I don't remember if that was before I toured Europe or when I came back, but either way, like I went to tour Europe twice. I was like homeless twice. I never had any money my whole life. Like I was just like always broke and like always getting fired from jobs and just like struggling, and was living in shitty apartments and just like struggling, bro. And like I think actually at that time I had just broken up with this girl who at that time I thought was the love of my life, and I like that whole thing. Yeah,
that song was kind of, it seemed like it was a really, really good like fuck you song to like the ex, because like I love it because there's like girls in my life and stuff that like when I play that song I kind of feel the same way. You know, because there's a lot of good bars in there, like when you said when I needed you to find me, you went missing. And I feel that on a different type of level, because like anyone that's been through a breakup of love or whatever the case is knows that feeling, you know. Totally. So that song is really, really dope.
Word, thanks, man. So I think I was probably like in the dumps because of that that relationship and not feeling good. So that sort of, whenever you don't feel good, that's like when you want to do the best for yourself and when you want to excel the most. So I think that was just like a perfect storm of a moment where I was like I said, I set deadlines for myself, and I was just like, I'm gonna set this deadline. Either I like make it or I check out. And that's how badly I wanted it, and that's how bad I felt at the time. So it was just like a combination of not feeling good emotionally and a combination of wanting the world for myself and just giving myself that like ultimatum. Like when I was 16 or 17 years old, I went out and got my first face tattoo. Okay. Like a lot of people out here are like, oh, like he looks like another mumble rapper and like blah 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 blah, and they don't realize like, yo bro, like I was like 17 years old before this whole face tattoo thing happened, and I had my eyelids
started this face tat shit.
I started this face tat. No, but for real, like look at old pictures of me. I was like 17 years old with that shit. And I didn't do it because I was like, I want to be cool or I want to be hard. Like maybe that was part of it because I was a kid and shit. But like my main thing was at 17 years old, I couldn't hold a job. I got fired from a lot of jobs and stuff, and that was just another deadline I put on myself. I was like, okay, like if I tap my face up,
yeah, there's no going back.
I can't get a regular job. I have to make this music shit work. So that was just like, that's set in stone.
Yeah.
That was like that's it. The decision's been made. There's nothing else to do but win now. So that's like, it's very similar to that line in Wannabe. I'm just like, yo, like either I make it or I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Period. And
okay.
Like, that's it. And like, bro, oddly enough, at 29 years old, Dear Rappers blew up, and
now we're here.
We're here. That's crazy.
That's dope, man. That's dope hearing that, you know, because I'm the same way. I kind of make like fucking far out goals for myself, and I feel like if you don't want it as much as you want to breathe, you're not going to get it, you know. You're not gonna wake up every morning and try to get it, you know. So I really enjoy that. So fast forward now.
Right.
So now you're a household name, man. Like people talk about you, you know. It's inevitable, you know. You're a household name, you know. When you hear Tom MacDonald, someone has an opinion. You're a household name now, and you fucking you see a tweet by a guy, Mac Lethal, as we all know, and you're like, what the hell? This guy is coming, you know, coming from my neck as of right now. So initially, what happened? Like what happened with that? How did you feel about that? Because that's kind of, in my opinion, that's like, it's a big deal, because not only it's, you know, someone from a YouTube community, you know, from, you know, being having a career on YouTube, you know, coming at you like just straight disrespectful. So not only if that it's that thing, but it's a quote unquote well-known rapper, somewhat, you know. I say somewhat, because I didn't know who Mac Lethal was for fucking until I did research. Okay, so what happened? Like, how did you feel? What did you sit back and was like, ah, man, I gotta put the gloves on. Like, I gotta put the gloves on, because you went ham, dude. And I feel like it wasn't even your full potential. Like, I feel like it was just kind of like a fun sparring match. Like, it was a warm up, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So get into that, man. Tell me how did that like go? Like, how did you wake up and was like, all right, it's time to destroy your career? Like,
oh man. Well, I'm flattered that you think I did that, but yeah, like I don't know, dude. Like, I didn't even like. I'm not really on like the internet like that. Like, I don't see something unless like my fans are like, you need to see something. So I didn't even know that it was a thing. So like when I like initially like responded with my tweet, I don't know if that was like an hour after, or if it was like, I don't even remember if it was a day after or 2 days.
Yeah, it was like a day or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because at that point, like, people had just kept messaging it to me and like screenshotting it and fucking tagging me or like whatever. And I don't know, dude. I was like surprised. I like read it and I was like,
y'all, no, but yes.
Yeah. I was like, what? And I was like, well, shit, I don't know. I just released Straight White Male, which was sort of like the nail in the coffin for me. I was like, it's gotta be about me.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to. So whatever, I did my like little tweet thing back, which I thought was funny.
Yeah,
it was funny.
It was. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, and then I don't know, bro. I was just bored, dude. Like, I was like literally just bored, and I was like, I'm gonna see like how far I can blow this thing up. So I posted on Facebook and I posted on Instagram. I just did the whole shit. Like,
that's the whole quote unquote press run.
Yeah. I was just like, fuck it. Like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know, people were just like interacting with it, and it was like a thing. And like, then Mac Lethal wrote back on Instagram, or I think it was Instagram or something, and it was like, oh, it wasn't about you, like da 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 da.
Which and this is me, as you guys, because everybody already knows, I already said this. I think that was a load of crock, dude. That was a hot steaming plate of shit, because I read that and then in the song, when like I did a reaction to the song and stuff, it contradict each other, like what he was saying.
Sure.
And I was like, dude, you're like, it's okay to not like someone, just man up, say, yeah, I said it, whatever, you know. So for me personally, it was a hot steaming plate of shit. Like I was like, dude, like just own up to it.
I think a lot of people felt that way.
Yeah.
I definitely like felt that way at the time. I was like, okay, bro, like this is like some weird like backpedaling shit.
Yeah.
Like I honestly like now that it's like so far in the past, I guess that's just like I just don't care about it enough anymore to even try and like further formulate like what I really think was going on there or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know, man, like it was just really just like birth of like boredom, dude. Like
that's so funny.
I just dropped like that Straight White Male record, and I was having a good time riding off that. And I don't know if I had plans for my next video yet or not, but it just seemed like the only free time I have in my life is like immediately like after a release, because everything prior to that is like getting the video done, editing the video, coloring the video, figuring out
building it up,
figuring out the merch thing, figuring out like how I'm gonna promo it. It's like a big strategic thing. So I had just come off hot off the heels of that video, so now I'm just like have free time, and then that happened, and I was just like, oh well, okay, this is perfect. I'm like bored, I have free time right now. This is like could be a fun thing to do, and it was a fun thing to do. So
I think it was great for both parties.
I think so too, dude.
Because it was for me as a reaction channel, man, and seeing it as a fan as well. It was great because not only did it give time for you to shine, but it also gave time for him to shine as well. You know, because a lot of people. I mean, I spoke to a lot of people who said, you know, they like his track or they like your track better, whatever the case was. But at the end of the day, it brought new people to his channel, which I mean, Lord knows he needed it at the time. And then it brought, you know, new people to your channel as well, you know. So I think it was really good. I know. I hope so. I've been waiting. I hope so. Look, hey, Mac, you have all permission to put SimbaTv in a diss track. I would love it. Let me do a reaction to it. But
it was just, it was like a fun thing, and like I never wrote a diss song before. I like never been a part of that world or like the battle rap or anything, so it's just like, this is perfect.
And what an outing was it, man. It was a good showing. It was a good showing for sure.
Yeah, it was fun.
Kind of switched gears with I Wish. Okay, so you took a path of just what I think is your best song, you know, that I heard is I Wish. That is #1 for me, and then it goes Wannabe, and then Sad Rappers.
Sure.
So you write I Wish, and it's a touching song. Right. It's super, like, you know, super well edited, well shot. Nova did a great job. Super just like well thought out of. The lyrics are well thought, and that song does numbers as well. So what was the change of gears that inspired that? Because that song is super, like, it's a flashback of time. Like when you hear it, it makes you think of, you know, being a little kid with your parents or whatever, you know, good, happy feelings. So what made you want to switch gears and be like, okay, let me bring the people something showing my other side?
Well, like my whole thing about like the music has always been like, if you're not making music to make other people feel better, then just fuck off and like don't make music. Go do something else. If you want to be like the cool guy at the party or whatever, there's a million ways to be the cool guy at the party. You don't have to be like a rapper or a musician. Just like, if you're gonna be a musician, make music that makes you feel good, and in turn it'll make other people feel good, and then those people are going to tell you, yo, that this record saved me, and that's going to make you feel good again. You're going to talk to them, it's going to make them feel good again. It's just this like secular thing of like making each other feel good, and like that's what music is all about, is making other people feel like they're like not alone in this shit. And like that's always been like my whole thing, is I wanted to make music not for money, not for fame, but as therapy for myself. And then when I found out that it helps other people, that became like my main motive, was like, I want to help other people through helping myself, and that's like a beautiful thing, and I could do that for the rest of my life and be happy. It just so happened that and I've been making music like that for years, bro, for 7-8 years, and it just never hit. So it just so happened that it was Dear Rappers, Hell of It, White Boy, that shit that hit. And
so people just already had this image of you inside their head.
I had to like walk in those shoes for a minute and own that and be like, okay, cool, like if you guys want to hear me talk about like how I feel about the rest of the world, then fine, like I can do that. But like after I did that like 3 or 4 times, I was like, yo, like I'm more than this guy that like talks shit about mumble rap and like has unpopular opinions on race and like all this shit. Like I'm more than that.
Yeah.
Like, and like it started bugging me when people were like, oh, this guy's a clickbait rapper, this blah blah blah, he only talks about this controversial shit. Because I'm like, yo, like I really do this, bro.
Yeah.
Like I make all these beats, like I write these fucking songs, my girlfriend shoots the fucking videos, like I really for real fucking do this. And I just thought it was like important to be like, to give people something that wasn't controversial, that wasn't like on a hot button issue. It was just like, yo, here's like something that's gonna make you smile. And like, I don't make music for the radio, but like, make no mistake about it, I Wish is a fucking hit song.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah. It's a banger, man.
Like if you gave that record to like a fucking Macklemore and Kesha, or like, or some pop, sort of urban-y pop like group like that, like a Logic and like a fucking whatever, Katy Perry or somebody on the hook, that it'll go. Like, so I just wanted to just be like, yo, look, like I write music.
Yeah.
So that was like my whole thing. I felt like I had starved myself of being able to express that side of myself by doing those other records. And I felt like there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people who liked Dear Rappers, Hell of It, White Boy, blah 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 blah. A lot of those people felt disenfranchised by mainstream music, and they felt disenfranchised by the government and disenfranchised by social issues and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, cool, well I can continue presenting you with ways that I feel disenfranchised about shit, and we can find unity and we can find each other through feeling not good about shit, but like, how are we gonna feel better from not feeling good about shit? Yeah. And that's where like, I'm like, okay, we need this record right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wish so.
I haven't seen a feature like with you on like another person's songs, or like someone else's song featured you. So are you just not like, are you ever planning to do features? And if so, like who are some people that you wanna, collaborate with and stuff like that?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Music's always been like a super like personal thing for me, and like, I know that like a lot of the records that I write are either like so personal to me that I don't want to have anybody on it, or B, they're like, I'm just like talking wild shit, and like, who's gonna get on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna be the fucking feature on White Boy? Or like, if I was black or some shit, who's the feature? Like, who do you call up for that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not that I don't want to collaborate with people. It's just that like personally, I'm just like so self-sufficient that it's like when I have like an idea or some shit and I have the beat and I conceptualize the record, and by the time, like, I'm like this with my work. Yeah. So it's like the second I have an idea, I'm like already like executing on it. So it's like I've never been like, ooh, like I need somebody else on this song. Yeah. Usually I'm like, I need 10 more verses to accurately portray what the fuck it is I'm trying to say. So how can I give up 16 verses to somebody else, like, and feel comfortable with that? But it's not like I never will. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of guys that like I'd love to collaborate with. I won't say any names because like, who knows if they fucking hate me and like, I'm not interested in hearing like, I'm never gonna collaborate with that guy. That guy's a piece of shit. So just like, I don't know, dude. Like, but so when the right people come to me and they're like, hey, let's work on something. Hell yeah, let's work on something. I guess just whatever hasn't happened yet, and It is what it is. Yeah.
Cool. No, I understand that for sure. Because a lot of the times I'm the same way. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, when the camera is off, you know, once you find like yourself, like when you start being like self-sufficient, like it's a beautiful thing, you know, because you know you best, you know. So that's really cool. So you dropped "Everybody Hates Me" at the time where everybody hated me. It was perfect timing.
Yeah.
You know, your timing's impeccable. So you dropped that song, man, and once again the world goes crazy, you know. This dude thinks everyone cares about what he thinks or whatever, you know. So when you wrote that song, was that like another like nudge to the haters, like, haha, I'm back, like
like, yeah, I don't know, it was just kind of like a funny thing, dude, like, because I was like living in like in a ghetto, like my house was falling apart. It's just like I told you earlier, man, like the house was full of like mice and roaches and shit, and like the wheels on this machine had just started spinning, and then like all of a sudden, like, oh, I get to move out of that neighborhood, and like I get to have a nice house, and like I get to, you know, live like how I've wanted to live for like quite a while, and it just seemed like the majority of the reactions I was getting from that people at that period of time were like negative, and I would just always say to Nova, like, yo, like these big reaction channels that keep posting my stuff and they're just like hating on me, and then their video gets 750,000 views, and then my subs go up by like 30 or 40,000. Like, does everybody really realize like how much good they're doing for me by hating on me? Like, do they really get it? And like, that was like, it was just kind of like a joke to me. I was like, yo, like everybody hates me, and they're like improving my life like so much just by hating. So that was like just the whole concept. I was just like, yo, like everybody hates me and they're making me stupid money.
Yeah.
Hating. Yeah, so it was just like, I don't know, it just like, I didn't have to think about it. Life just like presented it.
Okay. So it was just like the right time, like right moment. And it really was, man, because that was when, man, people couldn't keep your name out of their mouth, man.
Yeah.
Like it was really interesting, because even I would get comments on like random videos and shit, dude. Oh, this good dude likes Tom MacDonald, and I'm like, yeah, and like I'm black, yes I am. Like I like his music.
Yeah.
He has a good message. Like you just don't understand the message, just okay.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a perfect time, man. When you dropped that, I was like, yes, I was like, that's funny.
See, like that's the best thing about like what you do. Like you control all your stuff. If you want to shoot an interview right now, you shoot an interview right now. If you want to release a reaction, you do a reaction. And like that's like when I say I work like this, it's like that, because I make my beats, I produce the records, and my girl shoots the videos, we edit them and put them out ourselves. So it's like I have my finger to the pulse of like Tom MacDonald's internet presence. So it's like very easy for me. I'm like watching this shit and I'm like, yo, like all these people are hating, everybody hates me. That's the record. We'll shoot it 2 days from now and we'll drop it next week. That's why the timing's so good.
Yeah.
Like when you say, oh, it's perfect timing, because like a lot of these artists record 40 songs and then they have 40 songs in the bank, and then they slow roll these songs out prior to their album, and like maybe some of those songs were like intensely relevant when they wrote those songs, but maybe they don't connect with it anymore, or maybe the politics of their environment have changed and that song doesn't ring true anymore. For me, it's like, because we do everything ourselves and it's so self-sufficient, it's just really easy to have great timing. Because I'm like, this is where I'm at right now with my music. This is what people are saying right now about my music on the internet. So to me, this is the smart choice to make. So then I just literally write that song and have it. And that way, like, the music's true to me and my thoughts and feelings and my life at the time, and it's true to everybody else because they're also tuned into the same thing that I'm keeping my finger on. So it's like, that's a timing thing. But yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. That's a great way to explain that, because I always say being an independent artist, it's really good. It's better than being signed to a label or telling, you know, having someone to tell you what to do, whatever, you know. Just like you said, you got your hand on the pulse of, you know, Tom MacDonald.
Yeah.
You know, and that's 100% true. Everything you drop, it's perfectly timed, man. Perfectly timed, and it sets the world on fire, essentially. So you go on to If I Was Black.
Right.
So you got a lot of mixed reactions from people. A lot of mixed reactions.
Right.
You know, me personally, I enjoyed it. And then, you know, I seen a few reaction channels that try to try to take what you said and make you into like a slave owner, essentially. And so when you was seeing all this stuff and you see, you know, one you know, particular instance is, you know, someone cut up a bunch of clips from reaction channels and try to make it seem like it fit their agenda. And obviously your fans and people that actually like watch the you know, the other reaction channels and stuff knew like that was a load of malarkey. But you seeing how everyone's divided, how did that like go? Like, what was that like something that you knew was gonna happen, or did it just randomly? It's just something that just happened. Like it just randomly happened.
I mean, I kind of expected it. I knew that like at this point in time, I have so much experience with that type of music that like I know that there's gonna be some people who love it and some people who hate it, and it's just like the way it is. And if some of those people that hate it are my fans, that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is, man. I've never, you know, like a lot of like one of the main things people said about If I Was Black was, oh, he's pandering. He's pandering to black people right now because he wants black fans. And it's just like, to me, it's like, yo, guy, like, I made White Boy.
Yeah, which is I said the same thing.
Like I made straight white male. Like I don't pander to anyone, period, ever. I don't care, like including my fans. I knew that, like, and I love my fans, bro. Most incredible supportive group community like on the internet. But like, just because I love you doesn't mean that I'm not gonna piss you off sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing things to make anybody like me. I'm doing things that I like, and if people like me because of that, great. And if people don't like me because of that, then that's fine too.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, I don't know, dude. It's funny because when people say shit like, oh, like, this song's reaching, he's trying too hard with this song. If you could, like, naturally see how songs like that come about in my life, like, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally, bro, I was shooting buttholes. The video that came out, I had a different idea for that video. I had a different treatment. It was like this talent show, and there was all these people performing, and it was this big fucking thing. And literally, like, the day before, this is how If I Was Black happened. The day before I'm supposed to go shoot the buttholes video, I'm sitting at this pizza shop with my girlfriend, eating this slice of pizza, and these two black guys walk in. And one's got like a tall, like flat top haircut, and the other guy has like sun-bleached like braids, and he took the two front braids and tied them around the back of his head to keep all the other ones out of his face and shit. And I just like saw them walk in, and then like literally said to my girlfriend, I was like, yo, if I was black, that's like the hardest fucking hairstyle like ever. I would rock the shit out of that. And then I just thought about what I said, and I was like what a weird thing to say. If I was black, that's how I would wear my hair. And then I started thinking, if I was black, how else would my life be different? And how else would I, how would I dress? How would I look? How would I act? What would my life be like? How would people treat me? You know? And I didn't say any of this out loud. I was literally making notes in my phone about like, yo, this is something. And I walked out the pizza shop and I said to my girlfriend, I said, I just had a fucking brilliant idea for a song. And she's like, what is it? I'm like, If I Was Black. And it's just a white guy's perspective of like, I watch the news, I read the headlines, I see this shit. How would I feel personally? Not how, I'm not trying to speak on behalf of black people. I'm not trying to say we deal with these problems, this is how the police treat us, this, that, and the other thing. I'm just saying, how would I personally feel? Me, Tom MacDonald, how would I feel if I was black? And I just used my imagination and just filled in the blanks and wrote the song. And literally wrote the song that day. And I said to my girlfriend, yo, I feel like on some level, this is the most important shit I ever wrote. So I'm canceling the fucking shoot tomorrow. I went $3,500 in the hole on the buttholes video, no pun intended, and canceled that video. Got to work on the If I Was Black video, shot that, released it, and then went back and reinvested another $3,500 or $4,000 or whatever it was into shooting buttholes the second time, because I axed it because I thought If I Was Black was more important.
Yeah.
And it just came about like literally as simply as that. Just one thought, and it just became a
spiral.
thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, how can I be the most controversial guy in the world right now? Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm about like saying like what the fuck I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, and that's really it. So yeah, so we did that record. A lot of people fucking didn't like it. A lot of people did like it. A lot of the main piece of criticism I got from people who weren't my fans were, don't think that you can speak for black people. And my whole thing is, I'm not speaking for black people. I'm speaking for myself. I'm using my fucking imagination. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And the main piece of criticism I got from my fans was, you're completely contradicting everything you said in White Boy and fuck da 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 da. And again, I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, I have contradicting emotions. I'm a fucking human. On Wednesday, I can feel like fucking White Boy, and on Friday, I can feel like If I Was Black. End of fucking story. How many times have you fucking met somebody or saw a TV show or whatever the fuck, ate some food or something, and you're like, nah, I don't fuck with that, I don't like it. And then next week you meet that person or watch that TV show or eat that food and you're like, yo, this is kind of tight. Yeah. Those are fucking conflicting emotions. Those are contradicting emotions. That's part of being human. So don't like tell me, I change every fucking day, bro. Like, my style and shit changes all the time. Like, sometimes I fucking wear my hair up, sometimes I wear my hat on backwards, sometimes I wear red, sometimes I just wear this type of shit because I'm comfortable in this today. I change every fucking day, I change every week. So don't, like if I want to completely contradict everything I ever fucking did next week, that's my fucking prerogative. That's how I'm changing. I'm allowed to fucking do that. I don't have to stay the same fucking person forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Obviously I get, like, heated about that shit,
I mean,
it's just like,
rightfully so, man. People come at you like crazy, man.
Yeah.
People seem to forget that we are, you know, humans at the end of the day. Artists are humans, YouTubers are humans. Like, we're all going to have our trials, our tribulations. We're gonna feel one way, we're gonna feel this way, you know. We're all humans at the end of the day. And people seem to forget that, you know, you're not just a fucking walking punching bag, you know.
And like, I don't know, what's the point of all this shit, bro? Like, after fucking White Boy, after If I Was Black, after fucking Straight White Male, after fucking Politically Incorrect, after any of those records, how long did fucking people talk about that shit after? A long fucking time. People were having conversations and like, and having discussions and like, yo, I know that like, If I Was Black and White Boy and stuff like that, it's all very surface level. Because I'm not here to be like, those issues are too complex. I can't present every argument and give you all the insight that you want to get in 3 minutes. So I present very surface level shit. These are very basic ABC type feelings and issues. Y'all take that, run with it, have the conversations, and have the discussions as deep as you want to discuss it with one another. And that shit's important. How many people are walking around talking about, hey, like, how do you feel about Post Malone's Go Flex? And I fuck with Post Malone. Yeah. But like, I'm not gonna sit around and have a conversation with somebody about that shit because there's nothing there to talk about. Yeah. So like, that's like the whole point of this art shit. Literally the point of hanging a fucking piece of art on the wall is like so people see it and you have a discussion about it and it's like, oh, I think the artist was trying to portray this when he painted that and da 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 da, and that's my music. Go talk about it. Yeah. That's the point. Don't be like, I don't want people to be like, oh, how you feel about Tom MacDonald? Oh, he's alright, whatever. I don't want take it or leave it. I love that guy or I fucking hate that guy and here's why. Yeah. And then those two people can talk about it and walk away from it, and that's the point.
Your new album drops Friday.
Hey!
Shameless plug, shameless plug. So, what can fans expect from the album? Do we get new songs, or is it like a combination of old songs? And where does Tom MacDonald go from here?
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, the album's 22 songs long.
Damn, Chris Brown?
You already know, bro. I don't play, dude. Like, I don't know, like, hold up. Let me just see right here. Yeah. Like, this is my last album. Death Threats. Okay, so there's 19 records on here. 19 songs on this album. So my whole thing was like, I wanted to outdo this album in every aspect.
Okay.
And like I was like really scared to start writing this album because I felt like Death Threats was so fucking good with like Dear Rappers and Hell of It, White Boy.
You got some bangers on there, man.
Yeah, like Castles, Politically Incorrect. Like there was some like big records on there, and it was like very intimidating for me to like try and follow this up. And I was like, how do I follow this up? And if I try to follow it up and I fail, how am I going to feel about it? Am I going to drive myself into the ground and I'm not going to want to make music for a while, or what's the deal? So I just like let this next album come about naturally, and I wrote like the first couple songs, and I was like, holy shit, this material is far beyond anything that I've ever done before. Let's go to town now. Like it gave me some freedom. I was like scared to like try and live up to that the last project, but after the first record started coming out, I was like, okay, yeah, we're off to the races now. So I just like obliterated on like a songwriting standpoint. It's insane. The best beats I ever made in my life. Like I said, it's 21 songs long. I think there's or 22 songs long. So there's like I Wish, Sad Rappers, Everybody Hates Me. So there's like 5 or 6 songs, the singles that I've released. They're on there, but it's 22 songs long. So there's something like there's like 16 unreleased songs or something on there. And like the singles that I released, Everybody Hates Me, I Wish, da 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 da. Like I don't even think those are close to the best records on the album. I think like the best records on the album nobody's even heard yet. Okay. And like I'm gonna be like releasing those videos after the project comes out to serve the album. So yeah, I just feel like super fortunate to be able to like find a way to like outdo myself, not only in quality of music but in length of project. There's like no filler. Every song is smash. Okay. So yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it's like I started out thinking this needs to be the sequel to Death Threats, and now it's like turned into be like Death Threats like way harder Big Brother. So that's cool. And like as per like where do I go from here, like I musically speaking, like I'm finding myself in the same position that I found myself at the end of Death Threats. I'm like, how do I surpass this next album now? So I know it's going to happen just like it happened last time, but I'm just gonna let it happen like I let it happen last time. I'm not gonna embark on this like thing where I have to write these huge songs. I'm just gonna let it happen like it already has, and that'll be cool. About to announce a couple like big tours coming up, and I have like low key like a side project or 2 or 3 that I've been working on for a minute that aren't like exactly like albums, but they're very, very strong side projects and different types of things I've been doing. So sweet. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish off this year like super strong with my album this Friday, August 30th. Every single copy is signed. www.hangovergang.com. And then yeah, I'm gonna go on tour a couple times, and 2020 is gonna be the craziest fucking year of my life. So nice. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you from chilling with me, man. SimbaTv exclusives here with Tom MacDonald. Go cop his new album dropping Friday, man. All links will be down in the description. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Subscribe to Simba.
Yeah, that
He's
part.
the family.